So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd.
Come on, fellas.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Murray. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Here's Murray. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. Still leaves them with 4th and short. Any chance you go for it?
It's definitely in the back of my mind. In fact, I've discussed it with my staff all week long, different situations that I may want to go for it. Where's the ball on the field? Do I have confidence in my trigger guy? What am I going to do? I'm also talking about my analytics department. What are the odds? If I don't get it, what's it going to do to me the rest? Of the game. Personally, I end up taking all that, putting it in my head, and making a decision. And you know me, I'm probably going to go for it.
Wow, you want to make an opening drive statement.
Yes, I do. Once I have the ball and I've got it on the move, I don't want to just give up that easily.
Right here. Check nickel. Check 15.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he stopped immediately there. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
General, flash.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Love. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 3rd down, it's Hubbard, and he is going to lose yardage here.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Tight dog. Yes! Ready, go.
A give to Kamara running right. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And if you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Running with Kamara. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
6 man. Check girls. Team 6. 54. Mike 54. Tighten up.
Second and 6. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. From 17 yards out. And the Falcons push further out in front. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 43.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Falcons' 43-yard line.
Got it. Set, watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Touchdown defense. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there.
To throw on second down. Love. He gets it to Thomas. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 30.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Let's go. Let's go.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
Come on,
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Murray now. And his throw here's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Quit talking about it and press it. Watch twist. Watch twist. And go.
On the ground, this is Kamara. And an alley to run. again. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And all the way down to the 26. And they will finally get him down, but not before he takes this to the Falcons' 26. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Kamara trying the right side. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Here's Kamara out of the pistol. And they'll get him down right around the 16. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Kamara. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On play action, it's Murray. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Here's Murray from midfield. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Hey, we got 3 down.
Murray now on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. To throw is Murray. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
And that's when this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time. Forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hubbard. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as they'll be left with a 3rd and long.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 3rd down, Murray. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
He'll try and run it. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Murray. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Alex Anzalone. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. To try again after the sack. Murray dancing to his left. And he's going to keep it here. He got him a big chunk of that yardage back, but even with that effort, it'll still be 3rd and long.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
Murray with a 3rd and long. The open man is Smith. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Murray now on 1st down. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. Touchdown, Falcons! Josh Oliver, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A gain of 32 that time. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Love. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. He'll buy some time right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Tech McKinley made his way into the backfield. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 37. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check 26, check 26.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hubbard. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So 3 field goals that he's hit. Now this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A 1st down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 42-yard line.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Love. And this is caught. I think he got that with 1 hand. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 28. On 1st and 10, Love. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run it with Kamara. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Brought down at the 2-yard line. Brings up second and goal.
So it'll be second and goal when we return. We played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 2 now, second and goal.
Check 6 guys. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Kamara trying again. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop it right around the 1.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
So it's third and goal, and now the question, can this Falcon defense stand tall once more? They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. They go for just 1 here as it's up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
At the 25-yard line.
From the 25 on second down, Murray buying time to his left. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain.
47. Check, 47. Here we go.
To throw on third down, Murray. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 21 yards there on third down. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment and shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want it. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. To throw, it's Murray. That's complete to Smith. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be third down. The Falcons on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Alex Anzalone picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's 3rd down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. You were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
It's just me and you. Hey, watch that. Check, Mike.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Love. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. You got nothing.
On 4th down, Love. He is going to find Hill here. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing on 1st down. Love. And Thomas has it. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all. And now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Right there. 54, right there. 54 Mike. It's been a long day for you. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Operating from the gun. Love. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call, and you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
You're going to see me in your nightmares. Ready to go.
Throwing again. Love. Forced out to his left. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Give him 30 yards there.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Here I come again. Ready.
From the gun, Love. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Right back to him on first down. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line.
Today's final score, Falcons 23, Saints 13.